What's up guys, Bird Game here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today we're going to be talking about Star Wing Jahra and how to build her and why she is just so necessary for pretty much everybody's account. I feel like everybody's question is, when do I actually build Star Wing Jahra? And actually later today we're going to be doing an account tune-up, kind of talking about that, going over the heroes he has, when it is the right time to build the hero. But once you do build a hero, how do you build them and where does she excel the most and where does she struggle as well? So hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. We're going to keep going over all these Transcendence heroes. Try to get some basic guides for you guys to better understand the hero and how to build them. So let's jump right into it. Yes, the hero that CCs entire waves in just about every game mode. She originally started out being necessary when Void Vortex was a thing, and actually it was a thing back in what, like the fire pushes even? You needed her to CC the entire team. She can be a pretty solid kind of early game not first Transcendence, like second Transcendence hero, and then there's the more optimal way to build her. So there's going to be a couple different artifacts we talk about, but why is she just so strong? Well, we're going to jump over to Transcendence heroes. She's one of the original ones. She's the fourth one that ever came out and the best CC'er in the books. Well, her active skill is really where it's at. She has a 25% chance to inflict Petrify Rock Lock, which is different than Petrify, as well as a 25% chance to inflict Freeze Cold Chill, again different than the freeze effects. You can have both of those on the target, especially the freeze in combination with the new Vulcan hero. He has regular freeze, she has Freeze Cold Chill. They're two different ones based on how much HP the target has. Now the other thing is, when releasing this active skill, every one overspilt energy restores self HP equal to a certain percentage of your health. And then when it's over 150, you have an additional chance to CC. Now that's just the bone stock plain old Jahra. Nothing really special there. It does go up further into the 30% range here, and that is very solid. Pretty good hero overall. Now there's a couple things you're definitely going to want her V4. Her basic attack really is nothing you care about, honestly. Really just care about her active ability. And what helps her get there is her Void Infusion passive. Whenever an ally releases their active skill, increases self 20 energy and gain 1 layer of focus. And those layers of focus are very important because these each increase self 8% of control precision and 4% of control immunity offset. Essentially what that means is control precision ups the chance that your CC is going to hit. Control immunity offset is if the enemy has control immunity, like a lot of them do nowadays, it's going to lower their control immunity. So it's two parts of the equation to figure out if the character is going to be CC'd. Her last one's kind of interesting too because whenever enemy is frozen, she deals additional damage, and if you are building her as your main damage dealer, this will definitely come into play. And then also when an enemy is petrified, you deal damage and then also restore 8 energy, which is really cool. 1 heals, 1 does energy. Those are really awesome. So just as a base hero, she is amazing. But when you jump in over here, it gets even more crazy. So the numbers, of course, go up to 35% on her active ability. When you sublime the tree, you get 15% control precision. You also have this really cool effect with the deep sublimation. So typically 50% HP. If they're above 50%, you petrify. If they're below, you freeze. Now, the cool thing is with this, it makes this little gap in between. Actually, I guess I should do this. So down to 40%, you can petrify. Up to 60%, you can cold chill. So you have like a 20% block in there where you can actually affect and give both of these to the target. More chances of CC, that is amazing. And then the last one here, if self energy is greater than or equal to 200 instead of that 150 we talked about previously, when releasing the skill, inflicts the same control effects 1 additional time. So 3 times you have a chance to do this. Now, a lot of people might be confused of where this 150 and 200 energy goes because your energy bar only shows 100. In reality, the calculations keep going, which is why sometimes you might see someone like Lord of Fear Aspen with a fear effect on the target, and at the end of the round they're supposed to drain like 50 energy, but they still have an active. That's because they actually have more than 100 energy, and you can't visually see it, which kind of sucks. I wish they would have had like multiple energy bars under the target, but yeah, they essentially have it. So if you have over 2, which is another extra full bar, that is where it goes crazy. Now, This is very good too for her passive over here because this increases the amount of energy that she gets for every active released by an ally, and focus goes from 8% and 4% up to 10 and 5. This also is going to give her a 20% chance to get an extra layer just naturally. And then, of course, when the battle starts, you start with 2 layers of focus instead of, I believe, 1, honestly, or maybe none. I can't remember if the passive actually gives any at the beginning. I don't think you start with any, so you go from 0 to 2. The last one you can do, it doesn't change too much because it's just like additional damage you're pumping out. It adds more dots, which means less chance of your CC to be purified, which is cool. That's absolutely awesome. And then, of course, on top of that, her core is amazing. So whenever an ally releases an active skill, there's a 25% chance to restore them by energy, which is cool, and a 30% chance to extra restore 30 energy, and a 15% chance to inflict another chance of Petrified Rocklock. That's why when you see our videos and we do have this core active, you just randomly see people get CC'd with Petrify or Freeze. That is coming from this. It's not that great at level 1. When it first came out, it was bugged and doing crazy CC. That's where a lot of people made a ton of their Void campaign progress. But if you do get up to level 3, it is amazing. And now we need to talk about how we actually build her because, well, it's kind of important depending on when you actually build her. By default, you probably want to build her a little tankier, like something with like a speed HP stone or something, and either a Rui or a crown. Basically, really you should have the Rui. The Rui is the cream of the crop for this hero. Adding more control precision when it's up to Splendid. It has control immunity offset as well. Very strong. But it depends on how you're using this hero. If you are building her as maybe, say, your second Transcendence hero, you don't have your Demon Bell energy feed set up. And that's where, like, all these other heroes are on our account are, like, feeding an energy with these splendid Demon Bells and stuff to give her way high amounts of damage. You can actually have a very successful run as your main damage dealer in Void campaign and such with, like, Punisher of Immortal. You've even seen Melodic Strings do okay. Typically, though, you're going to want to run with Rui and build her a little bit later on your account, maybe as your 3rd, 4th, or 5th, depending on how much you're spending and depending on what type of artifacts you have. On our free-to-play account, we have Star Swords Monokman, we have Lord of Fear Aspen, and we already have a lot of Demon Bells and Rui Scepter, so we're going to be able to build her as our 3rd Transcendence hero. Other people, if you don't have the artifacts, you might want to build her a little later. Later on in the Void campaign, one thing I've noticed is she's having a really tough time living with Rui Scepter, sometimes just dying in the first round before she even gets an active off because the enemies just become so much faster than you that you cannot compete, even if you have an entire account full of Snow Hearts, slowing the enemy down. Crown can be useful in that case. I don't see a lot of people running it that way, but it's been a huge success for me as well, so I wanted to talk about that for 1 second. She does have a couple different skins here. The control immunity one's kind of good if you're worried about those types of stages. Honestly, I really like this one. HP attack and damage reduction is just such a solid one. The stats are good. And then, of course, we have this one over here, damage reduction, attack, and speed. This one is really good if you're going for the speed route. So it just really depends on which one. This one, of course, is a little hard because it is an ace skin. This one over here, I believe, is a festival skin. And then this one over here, I think is festival as well. Yep, it's the summer one. So there's really no easy ones to get for her. But there really aren't typically, besides Vesa, for Transcendence heroes. So hopefully that goes over a lot of stuff for you guys. Of course, you kind of just want to tweak these depending on if you want her to survive, build block, build damage reduction, or if you want her offensive, you build crit and all that fun stuff too. Same thing with stones. Go offensive if you want it. Go speedy if you want to go speed as a support hero, but she is absolutely amazing. Hopefully it helps you guys out. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. I'll try to answer them, or hopefully the community will help you out as well, and I'll see you guys next time.